G'day friends, welcome to the last video of MerMay 2019, from me anyway. It's 3 from me and I'm done. Thanks for watching, bye. No, I think everyone else is probably still going. It's the 21st right now. I'm sorry I'm getting this out a little bit later than usual. Well, I guess it's still the same day, but I have to be honest with you. I filmed an entire voiceover for this and I wasn't in the best of headspaces, I guess you could say. It was a mess, and not mess in the way that it's like, oh, it's cute, that's fun, that's a mess. It was an actual mess, and I feel like it came across really harsh. So I've decided to abandon that one. Unfortunately, you'll never get to hear what was going on in my head at that point. But I've decided to redo it, and I've decided to talk about something completely different, just so I don't get caught up in whatever it was that was just trying to surface from my soul in that last voiceover. So today I'm going to talk about MerMay. Just a little bit, just my final thoughts on MerMay as we wrap it all up and put a nice button on it. And then I'm going to talk about what we're doing for the rest of the year, or my soft plans for 2019. Now that we're entering the second half of the year, which is great. It's just like a downhill slope to Christmas, which is my favorite. I'm just gonna have a chat about a few things that I have on the horizon, see what we feel about them, see how we're excited for them, and yeah, I honestly am excited. I think the first half of this year has been going pretty much kind of how I wished it would have gone. You know what I mean? Like I've got no complaints with it. I think some stuff happened that was unexpected at points, and then I think other times it was completely what I expected. Like this MerMay, for instance, it was exactly what my expectations said it would be. So it's weird because I feel like I set myself up for a lot of success after my initial freak out. And so I don't know why I'm shocked that a plan that I really thought about worked, because it should have worked, because it made sense when I thought about it. But nevertheless, I'm pleasantly surprised that it all went according to plan. I guess it could have been a lot worse, considering we are still moving. We're still half in one house, half moving into the other house. It's like a very interesting transition period around here. But I'm really excited to hit the rest of the year and see what we've got in store for then. I know I give myself get out of jail free cards all the time. Honestly, it should be merch at this point. Like a JLB creative get out of free cards. Just like a pack of 52 cards. And but it's true. I love to give myself a general idea of what I want to do and what I want to achieve. But, 2019 was all about being a bit more flexible with that and really looking into my intention for it and looking to, whether it was a good idea really to do it in the way that it's been done before, if there was a better way to approach it this time. MerMay specifically, I think that was the first challenge where I kind of looked at, I guess, YouTube videos in general, the one per week, although May I've had 2 per week, so maybe I've really gone against myself here. But I think setting my 2019 up with more realistic expectations for what I could do and what I wanted to do, what I thought might be beneficial for everybody in the long run, has been really working out well for me. And I'm really happy about that, because I was very skeptical. I thought this is going to be bad in the sense that I'm going to feel really underwhelmed by myself, or maybe people are going to be really upset with the content or the lack of content if they feel like it's been a big shift. Last year on MerMay was 31 different videos, and we also had tutorials going up and different videos coming up beforehand. I went straight into Junicorn after that and did like 7 videos for that. It was honestly so much content thrown at people. I thought it was a little overwhelming. By the time we got to Inktober, I feel like I had just exhausted people. And I think having this broken down into 3 videos, even though we fly through the illustrations, I think has been really nice. It's been very palatable, and I've enjoyed voiceovering them, and I've also enjoyed just watching a lot of the process happen a bit more organically, in the sense that, moving from one illustration to the next, you can kind of see where the ideas have taken a bit more shape, and some of the things that I've kind of improved upon, or you can see when I'm taking a departure from what I've been doing and going into something a bit more abstract thinking. And I like to see that flow, that like ebb and flow of my brain, going to those places. Also, my favorite mermaid is in this set. It's actually not the next one, but the one after, like not this one, not the next one, the one after it. She's got a fro, and it's kind of sectioned off into a big clamshell shape, and all over her hair and like her earring and all over her tail and stuff, she's got these big mermaid scale sequins, like these big paillettes, and I'm just obsessed. I love it, love it, love it. She's probably my favorite. And of all the 31 mermaids, I did have a bunch that I really, really loved, which was astounding to me, because sometimes I feel like you're usually left with more that you're kind of like okay with, and then there's some that you really just don't like, and then you've got a few that you really enjoy. I feel like for this, I had more that I really, really loved, and then only like a bunch where I was like, yeah, this is all right, and I didn't really have any that I didn't like. There were maybe two where I was like, this is maybe not my favorite. But even then, I still kind of okayed them, obviously, because they stayed in. I didn't really cull any from the process either. I know we had a bloopers reel last year. I started two and then scrapped them, and it didn't even get past drawing the head and the body. I just got the body in a weird position. I wanted to just start again without erasing. So there was no actual mermaid that I finished and scrapped, or even got to the inking, or even the drawing really and scrapped. As far as the sketches went, I did pre-sketch all of them in a little journal just to know what their, what the aesthetic was, what the style was, what I wanted to draw them with. And I think I think one or two of them maybe didn't make it into these final set of sketches, and honestly I don't miss them. They're in my journal, they're there if I want them for later, but for the set that I've got, the 31 that I've got, I really enjoyed having the sketches and kind of reworking them as I sketched them out. There were a few ideas that hadn't fully taken form in the initial thumbnail sketch, and I think when I came to draw them for real and do the legit final piece, I was a bit more open to just playing with some of those things, and that really worked out well for me as well. I think the biggest challenge for this was only using a pencil and a pen. I've relied on the convention of mixed media to save so much of what I do recently, or more recent years, whereas I could use a watercolor technique to make a really beautiful effect, or I could use a crayon to make a beautiful texture, or I could really rely on the paper and the mixed media to bring a lot of life and character to the piece. The thing with a pencil and a pen, though, if you want texture in there, you have to draw it in there. If you want a pattern in there, you have to draw it in there. You can't just stick a piece of washi tape on it. So a lot of it came back to this primitive skill of just illustration. And having done my whimsical illustration course, not only putting it together, but like literally having gone through and done the actual full course as a student myself, I feel like I noticed there were things that I mentioned in the course that I actually do forget sometimes. So this process in itself, I was trying to keep some of those thoughts in mind and really make sure that they stuck with me, because even though I remembered to put them in the course, sometimes they just escape my own mind, to be honest. If I'm like really, casually drawing, or if I'm just sitting down, maybe it's a late night or something, I'm just doing whatever, sometimes I forget my own tips and tricks. So this has been good to kind of reinstate some of those and kind of solidify a bit more of that understanding. I have nothing but good things to say about MerMay this year. Super happy with it, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I hope you enjoyed the 3 videos and got to see all the illustrations. I've taken into account a lot of what people have said they wanted for products with MerMay stuff on them. They have not finalized anything. I honestly don't even know what I'm going to do at this point. I'm still moving, so I think whatever comes will, come when it comes, but maybe a coloring book, because I've had so much fun coloring these in since these have been done for like a little bit now. I've been coloring in a few of them and have been printing them again, because they're all in black and white, so they're kind of ready to go and color. And I've been printing them a little bit bigger for myself as well, and just having fun. They're super fun to color. I love mermaids and I love coloring in, so it just stands to reason. So maybe a coloring book, I'm not quite sure. I did enjoy the one we had last year. My mum and I had a really good time. There's actually videos, I think there's a video of my mum flipping her coloring in book on this channel. She did a really good job. She actually kind of turned hers half into an art journal. I was very impressed. Anyway, so let's talk about what's coming up for 2019 as we approach the second half of the year. Junicorn, I will not be doing that. I'm just going to put that out there. It was a very random last-minute thought from last year, and I'm not going to do that again. I think I had a good time doing it last year, but that's just not my full fantasy this year, so I'm going to stick away from that one. Coming up in June, we actually have workshops, the in-person workshops. I'll link some of the links down below so you can go and have a look. Also, check out my Instagram. There's a saved story on my, underneath the bio of my Instagram. If you want to have a look at more information about how to register and what the classes are going to be about. I just got the class companions in today, which are they're like A5 little booklets that accompany the course. And so there's lots of information from the class in there. There's also activities that you can do in the book. There's like collage pieces. You can even cut the back cover off and send it as a postcard. I love the little class companions. Originally, they're kind of for me to be able to teach with, so that I could have the information right in front of you and you could reference something. But also I think they've been really, really great in allowing students to take the information beyond the workshop, because a lot of the time, you know, with online workshop, it's really great. You can do self-study and be self-paced, and you can come back and revisit things at your leisure. With an in-person workshop, there's all the excitement of being around other people that are just your same brand of crazy. And you can also get the really, you know, invaluable hands-on, like one-on-one, face-to-face kind of a deal, which I think is great for in-person. But also with the in-person workshops, sometimes I feel like once you go home, it can be hard to access some of that content, some of that information. So I put those class companions together to serve as a way to bring some of that home with you and be able to self-study after the fact. So I really love them for that. And the concept stamping one is literally like, it's like a stamping workbook, like an activity booklet. And I'm kind of obsessed. I'm currently thinking maybe I should bring a different version of it, because obviously the class one is very tailored to the class, but its own like activity booklet, I might think about doing that for my Etsy store, because I haven't fully gone through it right now and done all my examples, but I think it's going to be so much fun. It's like an activity book for adult stampers. I mean, who doesn't want that? So I'm gonna try and figure that out. Sorry, my allergies are coming back in full force. My nose has gone AWOL. All right, workshops, that's going to be great too. Oh, and at the workshops, if you are up in the Los Gatos area, I think I said that right, let's hope, the Islands Creative Escape. Also, please check out, you know, like I said, on the Instagram and the saved stories and the information, because there's a meet and greet as well, which I think you do have to register for, I believe, just so we can get an idea for numbers, but it's not like a course or anything. It's just come along, bring your journals, take some washi tape, you know, have a bit of a play with stamp set. I'm going to bring a bunch of my own journals to the workshops over the weekend, so you can flick through those, take photos, chat, take videos, do whatever you want. I just want to have a really fun meet and greet, because beyond all of it, like, I love so much about the workshops, and my absolute most favorite part is being able to talk to everyone and being able to meet you face to face and just have that connection. We get so much of it online and so much of me chatting at you and you responding to me, but it's truly completely different when you're in person. I just get to engage that way. I love it. It's one of my favorite things, because I do spend a lot of time working by myself. So when I can get around a bunch of other crazy people that love washi tape and art journals, it's just on for young and old at that point. So yeah, my workshops, that's happening in June. At the end of June, also, we're having Sojourner USA is having an open house, and Rowena's going to be putting on this like lovely open house at Sojourner Studio, and we'll be doing a meet and greet and kind of having some fun with some products and playing, and just kind of the same type of deal as the meet and greet up north. I just want to get to know you all, just want to get to meet you and have a very relaxed atmosphere to do so. So there'll be more information about that on my Instagram as well. To be fair, Instagram is probably your best chance at either getting a question answered, because I know there's a lot of questions that pop up on YouTube comments, and I don't know the last time I answered a YouTube comment, to be honest. I've been terrible at it. I still read every single one of them though, and if you really have a pressing question, usually you can get it answered pretty quickly on my Instagram. But I'm going to try and make more of a point to go back and answer all these YouTube comments. I'm going to have to go back so far at this point, but I should do it, because there's so many things I do really have a quick answer for, but a lot of the time I check my comments, I'm either in the car, like on a quick trip somewhere, or I'm literally on my lunch break and just kind of skimming through everything. It can be a lot to try and answer every single one of them. And you know what I've noticed? It's like, sometimes it looks like the video doesn't have a lot of comments on it, and so that it should be easy to manage. But I've got years worth of video content on YouTube now, like hundreds and hundreds of videos, and people watch videos from years ago and they're asking like, what pen is this? And I think, oh, I have no idea. Like, if that video is more than 6 days old, I probably have no idea what's going on in it, to be honest. So anyway, that's a huge tangent, but I'm gonna try and be better at that. I should definitely make that a point to be better at that. And I think with my new lifestyle over at my new place, I'm gonna be like very much into cafes and like brunch and stuff. So maybe I'll do it on that. Maybe I'll do it at that time. I'll just go and have a nice brunch and answer YouTube comments. Anyway. The last two things I think I was ready for. Oh no, I've got Patreon. Patreon. Look, I know everyone and their dog has a Patreon at this point, and to be fair, I love it. I love everyone going out there and doing their thing. Last year we did Playtest Patreon, which was a 3-month offering, and this year, when I come back to Patreon in the summer, it will be a 2-month offering, I'm pretty sure, and I'm calling it Playtest 2. And they'll have its own little thing going on, but I'm approaching it much the same way I did last year. And I did say last year that if I had a Happy Mail tier, that I would offer an international one as well. So I'm trying to get everything ready for that and trying to see how all of that's still going to work, because Patreon's had a few changes, and also some of the methodology that I have to creating things has changed a little bit. So I'm just trying to see what the best way to do that will be, and I'm still looking into it before we like hit it in the summer. So I'm really excited for that. Save your yennies, pennies, and pounds if you want to get involved, because it will only be 2 months, and my best bet for you to get the full experience is to join from the beginning. I know that last year I even put a whole bundle up on Etsy so you could access all the content in its entirety, but I feel like the best way to really get involved is to be in the process. So if you can put aside like $20 or $40 before the summer hits for that, I think you'll have a much better time than possibly purchasing it after the fact, when some of the content will be a little dated, and you know, obviously you won't be able to purchase those happy mailers if it's already gone. And I am trying to, wow, I'm like really struggling to breathe right now. Sorry, my nose. I am planning on doing products that, I shouldn't say products, at least one product that is exclusive to the Patreon Happy Mailer tier. So I won't be putting it in the store. I would love to get a look at how many people might join that tier before I do it, because I think I'm going to order too many, but we'll see. It'll be fine. I do want to offer something exclusive just for my Happy Mail tier, because if I do the international option, that means everyone will have a chance to get to it, and I really do think it'll be something nice and a little special to put on there. So that's some of my preliminary thought for that. As far as the content offering goes, it'll probably look a lot similar to what it did last year, but I'm kind of branding it a little differently. But the idea is the same. A lot of versified content, blog posts, podcasts, video content, digital downloads, etc., and a Happy Mail tier. But yeah, I want to get a lot of that Happy Mail tier stuff sorted before we even start it, so that I'm not going to have a big... you remember last year, the manufacturing issues and then the FedEx boxes that went missing, and... machines breaking down, like, and then the stamps wouldn't, like the stamps.com, I had to shift premises over to stamps.com. It was a lot last year to get that, so I want to take everything I learned and be very diligent about pre-planning the Patreon experience on summer. But I'm really excited for that, and I hope you are too. Online workshops. I'm still working on my travel journaling online workshop. It is really exciting to put it all together. I love reliving the experience after the fact. A lot of it I've been saving for when I move into the new place, because I didn't want to have any continuity problems with the filming. But I've been loving all the Japanese products I've been using. If you watch the haul, I've been knee deep in products to try, and it's like such a good boost of excitement to your creative process when you have new things to play with. So having all of that stuff has just been it's literally been the most. And online workshops, I'm also still putting together my ideas for the art journaling workshop, which is, I'm taking this art journaling workshop, I think in my earlier ideas, I had this vision for it being the type of workshops that I want to offer, in the sense that it is art journaling focused. So there's a lot of working in your sketchbook and practicing on, and, you know, building on skills and looking at style and stuff, but having it themed. And my first one, since I've been so inspired since my trip to Japan, I do want to make that Japanese themed. Now, I know that's not going to be everyone's like full fantasy, but I think it's always better to do what you're most excited to do, because I think that just shows through at the end of the day. But I'm really excited for that one, because I want to learn a lot through that process as to how I can create future courses that are art journaling based but themed, and that's what I'm really excited for about that. Also, Inktober, towards the end of the year, I am honestly, and I know this is weird to say after doing this challenge, I'm honestly thinking of dipping out this year. Is that like, am I allowed? No, I'm not at all. Could you imagine? Although, I don't know. I think I do want to do the full month of videos for Inktober, because I feel like that's become like a bit of a thing. I'm not quite sure if we'll bring Daisy back, or if there'll be a completely new thing that I want to go with. I loved Daisy last year, but it was a lot of extra work. So if I have the time for it, I could imagine myself doing something similar. But for now, I'm just thinking yes to Inktober as well. I had a great MerMay, and I think I'd have a great Inktober as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you've got anything fun planned for the rest of the 2019 that you want to share, please leave it in the comments below. If you've got a link to it, like, please leave the link as well. Because I'm always looking for fun and exciting things to do. But until next time, thank you so much for joining me at MerMay, and I'll see you soon. Bye!